Okay, go for it.
Okay, I'm just trying to draw this stupid crazy thing because you know how I am with drawing. Not very great. Okay, so
You want to pause it for a while?
no, it's all good. Okay, so here's what 10 looks like. This is what we know. This is G. This is H. 45. We have a question mark, which I'm going to make X because I like having. Okay, well, the reason he doesn't do it as X, never mind, is because we have letters. So let me not do that. I will make it a question mark. Sorry. Okay, we have 14, we have 18, and we have D, and we have C. Now what it's telling us is that triangle FGH is similar, whoops, I used the wrong symbol. I always use congruent, is similar to triangle FCD. Now, what you need to know is how they compare, okay? F is to F, G is to C, okay? So I'm gonna mark that, okay? Actually, I'm gonna use 2, and F is to F, okay? And H is to D. So 1, 2, 3.
Yes, the order they write it is very important. It's not
Very.
coincidence they wrote it in that order. Okay, so the order they wrote it is that's the corresponding angles.
Right. So what I have to do is figure out corresponding sides. So FG corresponds to FC. So FG, this side, corresponds to FC, this side. Okay? And FH, see FH, corresponds to FD. So those are my two sides. Now I do side to side, right? So I go 45 is to 18 as same. If I start with 45, I got to start with this one on the other one as question mark is to 14. Now I'm going to cross multiply and have my calculator ready. So 18 times I don't know, it's like acts as X. 45 times 14. Whoops, 14. Sorry. Okay, so now I just do the math. And I say, okay, I don't know what 18 is, but 45 times 14 is, nope, that's not right. 45 times 14, and it's 630. I don't know why it's blanking out, but it is. And then how do I get the question mark by itself? Well, same as I would if it were an X. I divide by 18, okay? And now the question mark side is by itself, and I take 630 divided by 18, and it's 35, okay? So the key here is to know what goes to what. So FG, is that what I did? No, I did green. FG is to FC, and then I did FH is to FD. Okay.
Class, you can do it like that.
You can do this too.
You will depend on the calculator, okay? The reason why I show by factoring is there's some exams, college entrance exams, where you're not allowed to use a calculator, okay?
No, yeah, so what he's saying is you would have to decide, okay, what common things are here. So let me show you what he's talking about. 18, you have 9 times 2 times question mark equals what makes 45? Well, there's 9, yeah, 9 times 5 times 7 times 2. Can you see that? Oops. Okay, so now I'm going to say to myself, well, if I divide by 9 times 2, okay, these are gone, and you have the question mark. Well, 9 goes away, 2 goes away, What's 5 times 7? 35. So you can do it that way too.
Yeah, the calculator is very helpful, but just realize that there are some tests they're gonna ask you to take, and you're not allowed to use a calculator.
Right.
That's the case you might want to learn by factoring.
Yeah.
The way she showed it right now, it's the way you did it, right? On the video that you told us to watch?
Yeah.
Yeah, this way.
Yeah? Okay.
Because, like, I prefer small numbers. 45 times 14 will give you a very big number.
Right.
So personally, I like the small numbers better. Okay. But notice they give you the same answer.
Yeah. The hardest part is setting it up, and this is your key.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
which side goes to which side? Once you figure that out, the rest is just math.
in this problem, the orientation of the the polygons or the triangles is different. Before, they were oriented the same way, but now they're different. So you have to depend on the F, G, H, and the A, F, C, D. The order they wrote those letters, they tell you what corresponds to what.
Did you guys want me to do another one?
Yeah.
Say
Which
it or
one?
text it to her, please.
6. Okay. All right. Let me look at 6. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, so let me draw it.
What number are you doing?
6. So 6 has one where it's interesting. You're like, I don't get it. There's like one triangle, right? Well, actually there is 2. One is nesting, as we say, inside the other one. So again, don't be making fun of my drawing, even though I get a ruler. It's not pretty, okay? Sometimes I do it too big, too small, whatever. Okay, so then you just have, for instance, this right here. Okay, so what do we know? All right, so here's what I want you to see. We have a triangle here, okay? And then we have a triangle here, and it's sitting inside, okay? And we know that N is here, 88 is this side, M is here, 24 is this side, V, U, L, 42 is, okay, let me make that better because that's no, that is right. 42 is this side, pink, and we're not sure what this side is. Now, the whole side here is 132, and the whole side here is 154. Okay, so now for my sake, my sanity's sake, okay, I know that this one, this one, this one are all part of the big one, okay? The 24, the 42, and the question mark are all part of the small one. Now, what I need, yes.
Trust, if you notice, they didn't give you a similar statement.
Right.
The triangle so-and-so is similar to the other triangle. The reason why they didn't do that is, you know what, in this case, the polygons, the triangles are oriented the same way.
Right.
So
they didn't give you something like this.
Here, but the way it makes it hard is because you have one shape inside the other one.
Right.
But they're oriented the same way.
Okay, so what I need to figure out is this and this. So it might be easier, okay, consider this, to draw them separately, okay, so that you can compare them. And that's not a bad thing. And all you have to do is go, okay, this is 132 because this is N, L, M, and this is B, U, L. This is 154. This is 88, okay? And then this is 24. We don't know this side. And this is 42. Now, interesting part here is, okay, we're assuming, did they say these are similar triangles?
Yeah. In the
Yeah, so-
green,
Okay, you do not have to use all three sides. Okay, you just need two. Just need two sides. This is a horrible 24, sorry. Okay, that's still pretty bad. Sorry. I'm used to a whiteboard, what can I say? Okay, so I'm going to say, I'm going to compare, and I'm going to use two different colors so you guys don't get confused. This side correlates to this side. Now, I can either choose 88 to 24 or 154 to 42. Now, like Mr. Rivas said, we like smaller numbers. So I already got 132 here. So I'm going to take 88 and 24. And then I match those up. Okay. So I'm going to take, and some of you, it helps if I do this. I'm going to put a box equals and put a box. Okay. And so I'm going to take my 132. And it doesn't matter which order you do it in as long as you do big to small and consistently big to small. Does that make sense? So it does not matter if I switch these as long as I switch the other ones. So as long as big triangles are on top, little triangle sides are on bottom, or vice versa. Okay, now if we were to do this like Mr. Rivas said, first we got to cross multiply. So I like my X's or unknowns over here. So I'm going to say 88 times the question mark equals 132 times 24. Now again, I can use a calculator, but say the computer doesn't let you, or the tester doesn't let you use a calculator. Well, then you got to use common things. So I know that 8 times 11 times question mark equals 88. 132 is a lot bigger, but I'm going to ask myself, does 11 make 132? I think it does. Yeah, so that's what I remembered. So you have 11 times 12, okay, and it might help you to go 8 times 3, okay? So now you have all your factors. And oh, look, 8 and 11 are there. So if I divide by 8 times 11 and divide by 8 times 11, obviously these go away and question mark is left by itself. Now I just get rid of common factors. And all I have left is 12 times 3, which is a whole lot easier math to do. And that is 36. Okay.
now,
So you can use your calculator, but if they make it so you can't, then you need to know your multiplication tables.
now class, if you look in Google Classroom, I gave you times tables. Okay, because you know that 132, numbers that multiply to 132 without a calculator is kind of difficult. Use the table that I gave you. Look in there, find 132, and I'll tell you what can multiply to 132.
And use this as a hint. I knew 88 was 8 times 11. Well, I'm hoping that 8 and 11 are over here. I knew 8 was part of 24, but 11 wasn't. So then I'm like, I bet it's part of 132. Does that make sense? All right, did anybody ask for something else? I can't see my chat at the same time. So you do the factors without laying it out.
Miss,
Yes.
where did you get 11 from?
Okay, so I figured out what two factors make 88. And I knew 88 being double, 11s do that. 11 times 1, 11 times 2, 11 times 3, it's always 22, 33, 44. So I knew 8 times 11 was 88. So then I went over here and said, oh, I know 8 makes 24 if I times it by 3. Well, where's my 11? It must be in 132. So what times 11 makes 132? It's 12. And then I divided by both. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Guys,
I
remember,
mean, you could do it this way. Here, look, you could do it this way.
you can do it with a calculator.
Let me do this. So I said to myself, 88 is 8 times 11, okay? And 24 is 8 times 3. I got rid of that, and all I have left is my 11 and my 3. So I'm going to rewrite that, okay? Then I have 132. Well, I know that's 11 times 12, okay? So I get rid of that and I put 11 times 12 over here.
Miss,
Yeah.
it was a little bit confusing how you explained it because how I was watching the video and he was putting like
Okay, try that again. Say that again. It was a little confusing.
On the video, the problem is on the video, I do prime factorization.
Right, he goes all the way out. I keep them big so I can cancel out. So then this is 11 times the question mark, cross multiply, equals 3 times 11 times 12, okay? And then if I divide by 11, okay, I have my question mark by itself. There's my common 11. So now I just have to do 3 times 12, which is 36. I don't go all the way down to primes because with my dyslexia, I end up missing numbers. So I can't do it.
Yeah, if you do prime factorization, you do more work, but you don't have to think along the way.
Right.
The way Tracy
It is easier, but
she's looking for 11 and 8 so that they will cancel. So she kind of has to think along the way.
Yeah.
If you do a prime factorization, you don't have to do any thinking. It is at the end you get the same answer. So
Yeah.
what happens is you do a little bit more work, but you make it easier. Or way you have to think along the way, but you do less work.
all right, somebody asked me for 11. So does everybody have 6? Oh, he's recording, so that's okay. Okay, let me turn my page. Okay, so we have 11.
Tracy,
Yes.
I was checking a YouTube video,
Uh-huh.
and your videos, they're the most popular ones.
Okay. I'm popular. Great.
So you're a YouTube star.
Oh gosh, that's funny. Okay. All right. So they're just all laughing at my drawing. I know it is. That's what it is. They're just saying, who is this lady with these drawing skills or lack thereof? Okay. I'm doing the best I can. Okay. So there we go. That's what we have. And then I like to do it in pen so you guys can see it. The biggest part is they give us this hint. They say the triangle VUT is similar to triangle VQR. So I'm labeling U and T, and V is right here, and R and Q. Now I need to put my sides. This is 40. This is 64, this is 25, and this is this. Now, I have to figure out what goes to what. So, VU, okay, VU is to VQ. So VU, this one, is to VQ, the one I don't know, okay? VT, these two, is to VR, these two. So these go together, okay? So now that I know that, now I can do my math. So, oh, let me do this because it helps sometimes. Let me do my little boxes. And again, it doesn't matter what order you do them in as long as you keep them joined up, green to green, pink to pink. Okay, so 40, I'm gonna use my big triangle first to 25. Okay, and my 64 big triangle first to question mark. That is important. If you start with big, stay consistent. If you start with small, stay consistent, okay? And they equal each other. Now I'm gonna cross multiply, and I'll do this a couple different ways if it helps, but this helps me just to get it into this kind of form, okay? So now, these are really big numbers. If I don't wanna have to use, okay, big numbers, okay, I know that 40 is 4 times 10. Well, there's no 10 over here because they don't end in 0. So what else makes 40? Well, I know 8 times 5 times the question mark makes 40. And I know there's a 5 and 25 and an 8 and 64. So I'm going to do those. 5 times 5 and 8 times 8. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm going to divide by the 8 times 5. Those are gone, and I'm left with a question mark. Okay. And this, it's like this. It's just like our usual thing. Okay. And then 8 times 5. So I eliminate the common. There's a 5 up here, a 5 down here. There's an 8 down on both. What's left? 5 times 8. Oh, wait, I just encountered that. 40. So the question mark, whoops, I didn't draw it very well. This is why Mrs. Crazy goes to whiteout like crazy. This is why I like whiteboards, because it's easier to erase. Okay, and that's my missing side. Now, the other way you can do it is you can say 40 over 25 equals 64 over question mark. And you can 8 times 5, 5 times 5, okay? 8 times 8, okay? So you get rid of the 5s, and you have 8 over 5 left equals, get rid of that and just have it out. Just have it like this, 8 times 8. Okay, and now cross multiply.
Can you erase the paper, please?
Yep, oh, sorry. Then cross multiply. 8 times question mark equals 5 times 8 times 8. I'm going to divide by the 8, leaving the question mark by itself. I can only take away one of the 8s, just one. And then I take 5 times 8 is 40, and I get the same thing. Now you can go down to prime, but you don't want to watch me do that, because with my dyslexia, you'll end up with way too many 2s, and it's pretty sad.
Yeah, for example, where she factors a 40, how she used 8 and 5, well, somebody could use 2 and 20. And
Right.
that wouldn't help them at all. 25,
Right.
that you cannot mess up, is 5 times 5. 64,
Right.
somebody could use 2 times
32 times 30. Yeah,
and it's probably not gonna work.
right.
I mean, 25, you cannot mess up. You're gonna get 5 and 5. But
And
4 and 6,
here's the thing.
there's
You can
different-
try and take a number like 25, which there's only 2 ways to do it, 1 times 25 or 5 times 5. And then you say, okay, it's 5 in anything else. Well, yeah, it's in 40. What else is in 40? 8. Oh, so 8s are in these. And you start seeing commonalities, if that makes sense. But see, like if I were to try and draw that 8, let's see, it's 2 times 2
times 2.
times 2. Oh, it's 3. See, I was going to put 4, because to me, 2 times 4, so I put 4 2s, but that's not right. It's 2 times 2 times 2. That's why you don't want me to do a prime factorization. All right, who else? Let me check the chat. I know, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out how I can make it easier. See, to me, if you use a calculator, it's just easier, but you can't always use a calculator. He's right. So I would just, in this case, take 25 times 64 and then divide it, take 25 times 64 and then divide it by 40. And then you have your answer. So.
Yeah, the other method is it's a lot of work, but you don't have to do a lot of thinking.
Right.
Our method is less work, but you have to do some thinking along the way.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, somebody asked me to do 3.
so you have to decide, do you want to be thinking about it, or do a lot of work and have it be automatic?
Yeah.
Number
So
3
let
now?
me, yeah, number 3. Let me look at that one. Oh, okay. All right. Let me,
The good thing is that you left a similarity statement.
let's see. I got too many things on my desk. Okay, I drew them backwards. Don't laugh at me. That's literally how I saw it, so you're just gonna have to trust me. Okay. Let me see if I can do a better job. Yeah, I didn't do this one very well either. Okay. Whatever.
You write
They are what they are. Okay. What's important is we have triangle RST, and it is similar to triangle CBA. Well, let's label these. This is R, this is S, this is T, and this is C, this is B, and this is A. RS is 96, TS, we don't know, CB is 40, and AB is 60. Okay, so now they kind of set this one up for us to make it really easy. So you just have to make sure you coordinate them correctly. So RS is to CB. So this one goes to this one. Well, that only leaves one other choice, which is ST, okay, these two, to BA. Okay, so this one to this one. Now you coordinate them. So you now do big, okay, first, that's what I do. 96 over 40, okay, big to small, and then big to small. Question mark to 60. All right, so I'll show you both ways. Cross multiply 40 to 60. 40 times question mark, sorry. And 96 times 60, okay? Now, if we're gonna factor, I know there's a 10 in here because it ends in 0. I know there's a 10 in here because it ends in 0. So I'm gonna say this is 4 times 10, okay? 96 probably has a 4 in it. So 4 goes into 9 twice, leaving 16. So it actually goes in 24 times 4, which is kind of crazy, but it does. I think I did that right. Yeah. And then 6 is 6 times 10. 60 is 6 times 10. Okay. Oh, I forgot my question mark. That's important. All right. So now I'm like, oh, good, I can take these away, but I'm going to show you the math. I'm going to divide by 4 times 10, so I get my question mark by itself. That's the goal. Divide by 4 times 10. So I can get rid of the 10s, rid of the 4s, and now I just have 24 times 6. And there is no reducing that because there's nothing else I can factor out. So you just have to do the math. So 6 times 4 is 24, carry the 2. 6 times 2 is 12, 13, 14. It's 144. Or use the handy dandy multiplication chart that Mr. Rivas gave you. And you can just do it, sorry, with that. I didn't write my 44 very good. Okay. The other way to do it is if you have 96 over 40 and question mark over 60. Again, I know.
The 24 and the 6, do we multiply or?
Yes, you multiply them right here.
Okay.
So you can use your multiplication table, or I do it over here like this. I did it in my head.
That's how you got 144, right?
Yeah, like 4 times 6 is 24, carry the 2. 6 times 2 is 12, 13, 14. There it is.
And what's the question mark for?
That's the unknown side. That's the
normally it'll be the X value.
Right, but we can't use X because there's so many other letters, so we're just putting a question mark.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That's
Yeah.
the unknown.
So if I factor these, I can do it here.
Basically, you raise the paper up a little bit.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. I get so excited, you guys, I forget. So then you cross multiply. So 10 times question mark equals 24 times 6 times 10. Divide by the 10. And you have the question mark left by itself, which is what you want. Get rid of the 10, and then you have 24. I'm in trouble writing 24. And then you do the math, and it equals 144.
Basically, you raise the paper. Now, when you get the answer, go back and look at the drawing and see if it makes sense.
Right. Like if I were to get 144, or if I were to get like
Basically,
70 here, oh, sorry, 70 here, okay? Well, that's smaller than 96, and that doesn't make sense because 60 is bigger than 40. So the ratio, I know that this side has to be bigger than this side. So this side better be bigger than 96. If it's not, then I did something wrong.
yeah, you kind of have to look at the number you got, the answer you got, and see if it makes sense. If you get a small number, like let's say 20, can that be 20 if the other one, the green one, is 96? So the
So
answer,
it's just going to take some practice, you guys. The setup's the most important part. The math, I think you guys will get. You know, I think you just need to do the setup. Okay, does anybody else need another one? Because now's the time to ask. Yeah, we can do 7. Okay. So let me look at 7. I get the worksheet up here. Sure, pick one that's fun to draw. I think y'all like making fun of me drawing. It's okay. You're just trying to make me a better artist. I know. You can tell Miss Ireland I have been practicing away. So she tells me all the time, if you're going to be a math teacher, I know how to draw. Wow, see, love my straight line? That was pretty bad. Okay, let me move my paper quick so I can use my ruler because my computer is in my way. All right, so we have, I'll draw it real quick and then I'll show you guys. All right. My daughter's the artist in the family. So usually I go to her and go, hey, can you draw this? She goes, Mom, you can do this. It's usually something really simple, but I tell her I can't. Okay, so there's my triangle. All right, here's what we know. That's what we always start with. First of all, they give us a similarity thing, which is TUV is, ugh. Wow, this is crazy. You need a squiggle, not a straight line. I'm off today, you guys. I'm ready for Friday. Actually, I'm ready for Friday at 4 o'clock. That's what I'm ready for. Okay. All right. So U is here. 18. T. B. This is a question mark. C. 6. 27. And V. Okay. So here's what we know. Let me zoom in. You guys can see it. Okay. Sorry about my little oops there. All right. So it's telling me that TU, get out my little highlighters here, TU is the same, okay, as TB. So where's TU? TU is here. TB, is that right? Did I draw that right? Oh, because they're different orientations. Yes. So that's why this is important. Is the same as this. And you're sitting there going, really? It is. They've attached them at different places. That's okay. So then we're assuming that VT is the same as TC. So these go together. This is why you do the colors. So now you set up your thing. You say green is to green and pink is to pink. And if you don't have colors, it's okay. Stealing from your little brother or sister, just kidding. Okay, so I'm gonna go big to small and big to small. So 18 is to, I don't know, as 27 is to 6, okay? So that's my setup. Now I wanna cross multiply. So I'm gonna take 27 times the question mark okay, equals 18 times 6. Now, 27 doesn't have a lot of factors. It's like 1 in 27 and 3 in 9. So I'm going to say that 3 times 9 times the question mark equals. Now, the key here is I want to find 3s and 9s over here. Well, I know 3 times 6 makes 18. Oh, but wait, that doesn't leave my 9. So I'm going to say 9 times 2. And it would if you factored it out like Mr. Rivas does. But like I said, you don't want to see me do that because it's pretty scary. So I'm going to say 9 times 2 is my 18. And then 3 times 2 is my 6. And there's my 2 factors I'm looking for. So now if I divide by 3 times 9 on both sides, whoops, and 9, see what happens when I say it gets that. That leaves the question mark to come down, which is what we want. We eliminate the we eliminate the 3, and then we eliminate the other one, the 9. And that leaves 2 times 2, which equals 4. Easy peasy. Now, I'm going to attempt this, but don't make fun of me. So if Mr. Rivas were doing this, he would say that 27, I'm just going to bring it over here, times the question mark, is 3 times 9, which is 3 times 3. Oh gosh. Watch me, Mr. Rivas, because I'll confuse my 3's. Times 18, which is 3 times 6, which is 3 times 2. And then you got the 6, which is 3 times 2. Now, what he's saying is divide by the 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And it doesn't matter if you got your factors, you know, like if you did 6 times 3 or 9 times 2, because you have it all sitting here. See, 6 times 3 or 9 times 2. It's all there. So you cross out, matching, all the 3's go away, and you're left with 2 times 2, which of course equals 4. Oh boy, that was a lot of 3's. I think I did it right. Okay, so if that helps with the factor type, that's how that one works. And what Mr. Rivas is saying, by doing it this way, oh, I didn't show you this, did I? 18 times 6, sorry. By doing 18 and saying, it doesn't matter what you choose, say you chose 9 times 2, well, 9 is 3 times 3 times 2. If you chose 6 times 3, 6 is 3 times 2 times 3. See, all the factors are there. And it takes out the thinking. Well, not the thinking, but it makes it less difficult because all your factors are still there. And 6, of course, is 3 times 2. There's only 2 ways to make 6, 1 times 6 or 3 times 2.
Yes, when you do prime factorization, at the end, you all get the same prime factors, whether you use 2 times 9 or 3 times 3. So the thing
So
about
hopefully,
factorization, at the end, you get the same answer.
yeah. Yes, I'm using the same steps for all these problems. For finding the missing side, it's exactly the same steps. You just have to find which sides coordinate to which side. So that's why I did pink to pink and then green to green. And then I put those together. And then it's the same. You cross multiply, get rid of what's extra, get rid of what is the same on each side, and bring it down to the smallest number.
Yeah.
And notice
you know,
Notice what he said, check it. 18 is smaller than 27, 4 is smaller than 6, it makes sense.
And to find out what corresponds to what, that's even in a similarity statement. Remember the order they write the letters, there's a reason why they keep that order. Because
Yes.
Mhm.
Thank you, Mr. Rivas. Sorry I interrupted. So we got 10 minutes left. What do you want?
Can you do another problem?
Yeah, tell me which one you want.
Can you do 14?
Sure. 14 better now be nasty. Let me look at it. Oh no, I can do that. Okay. Yay, 2 triangles. I think I can handle that. I think. Okay. Let me do this. I'm going to see if I can fit it on one page so that I'm not using up. Okay. So 14. Let's see. I got a line and a line and a line. Okay. And then this one's not the same orientation. That's okay. I'm going to draw it the way it is. If you want to redraw it, that's okay. You can do that. And yeah, I know they look weird, but it's okay. All right, here's what we know. This angle, remember it always involves angles, okay? It's similar to, is the same actually. They'll be the same size no matter how big or small the triangle is. It's weird, it works out that way. Okay, and these are okay. Okay, now this can get a little confusing because both triangles have a B, and that's just cruel, in my opinion, for somebody who has dyslexia issues, because then I end up writing them wrong. See, a BCD is similar to triangle BLM. Okay, so, all right, so we have BC is to BL. So BC is to BL. Oh, the unknown. Okay. And BD, these two are to BM. So BD, right? BM. Okay. So here's what I know. Let me scoot it up and increase the size so you can see what I'm doing. And this is what you need to worry about. Okay. Keep things straight. That's crazy. Okay. All right. So I want pink to pink. So I'm going to start top to bottom. Question mark to 22. Now I did top to bottom, so I'm going to do top to bottom again. 9 to 18. Now notice how, as long as I did my colors, I didn't have to reorient the triangle. It didn't matter. Because this, you'd have to flip it and rotate it. And that's crazy. I just don't have time for that. All right. So now I cross multiply. I like my question mark on the left. I'm just weird that way, so I'm going to go 18 times question mark. Okay. And then I have 9 times 22. Now, we want to take these down to smaller numbers. Well, I'm looking at my smallest number right now is 9. Ooh, wait, that's an 18. I like that. So I'm going to make 18 9 times 2. Okay. So I'm going to keep 9. But then I also know I want to get rid of 2. 22. Ooh, 2 times 11. So I'm going to do that. 2 times 11. Okay. And it doesn't matter. You could do, you don't have to use the parentheses. You can just go 9 times 2 times 11 with the dots. It doesn't matter. I'm going to divide and get rid of my 9 times 2. But whatever I do on one side, got to do on the other, right? So that gets rid of this and leaves my question mark all by itself, which is what I want. Now, if I get rid of the 9 and the 11, or 9 and 2, sorry, it's 11. Sweet. I don't even have to do any multiplication or dividing because just one number is left and I'm done. Now, does it make sense? Okay, well, 18 is a smaller number to 22. And if this is 11, 9 is smaller than 11. That makes sense. That works. And here's the other thing. 9 times what makes 18? Oh, well, we answered that too. Well, guess what 11 times 2 makes? 22. So your ratio is the same too. Proportion. Is that right? Am I saying that right, Mr. Rivas?
Miss,
Yes.
how did you know to put the 9 with the 18 and the question mark with the 22?
Okay, so we cross let's see if I can show you this. We cross multiply. That's how we do it all the time.
Yeah, but how did you know that the 22 was supposed to go with the question mark?
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, so based on this, BC, the line BC, let me show you. BC says it's the same as BL. So BL. Okay. And then I said, okay, what's next? Well, I know BM and BD. Well, BD and BM are the same. So then I just go triangle to triangle, and I simply go from top. I use the top triangle first to the bottom triangle, and the top triangle to the bottom triangle. It doesn't matter where the sides are, because they told me they're similar. Doesn't matter the orientation. I just need to go know what side goes to what side. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the similarity statement gives you a lot of information. You just have to know how to read it.
This is key. Okay, so they'll always put it in the same order. So B is to B is to B, as C is to L, C is to L, as D is to M. So when you're looking for similar sides, they always put them in order. So BC is going to be a segment, a side, BC. Well, the next two in order is BL. So BL. And then you find the next one, you know, BD, okay, first and last. Well, then what's the first and last here? BM. And that's why I highly, 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 highly recommend some kind of colored pencils or highlighters or something, so you can do this.
Guys, remember, today is the last day to turn in late work.
Oh yeah.
Turn it in. Make sure you look at the pictures before you turn it in. If the picture is too dark or too blurry, you might want to take it over again. If you're using your smartphone, a smartphone will never take a bad picture. Okay. If you're using a Chromebook, that's a problem. Sometimes the picture is too dark or too blurry. If that's the case, you might want to take a picture over again. If you're using a Chromebook, what I recommend is take one problem per picture. That way it won't be blurry. Okay. If the problem is the picture is too dark, turn on the light or go to a room where the lighting is better or go outside. Okay. And the video will be uploaded in Google Classroom. Give me about 15, 20 minutes and I put it in Google Classroom. Okay.
And if you need help setting stuff up, you can email us. I'll get you to this point, but then you got to do the math. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and
So if you get lost.
it only looks difficult because it's brand new, but it's not that bad. Okay, after a while, you get better at it.
Yeah. But in this case, when you guys ask, is this the method? Yes. In this case, this is always, you always set it up the same, however the similarity statement says. All right, guys, it's time for lunch. Make sure you guys get something good to eat and make sure you're on time for your 4th period class.